Hi everyone, welcome to WW Designs. My name is Nikki and today I have a fun little scrap busting project for you. This is a perfect rainy day idea, so I'm going to pop it in my rainy day projects playlist, but it's also a great couch crafting thing you can do. Sitting on the couch watching TV, if you have a little bit of prep done, you can just sit there with some glue and make pretty things. So any scrap that you have, you can use. Honestly, I have all sorts of interesting things in here. And then all those little tiny bits of ephemera that you probably have no idea what you're ever going to do with them, especially the little smaller pieces. We're going to put them to work. So what are we going to make? We are going to make labels. And I've already done quite a few, and I'm going to run through each one and point out some of the things that I used to give you ideas of what you can grab from your stash and make pretty things. So labels in that, look, it's a little bit of a broad term because you're not really planning on writing on them, even though some of them you may, but it's the style that they're done in. They look like a label, even though they're technically not, some of them, but they're just a fun little thing. These could almost, like this one could almost be called a cluster, but we're going with labels to give it a nice broad term. And this one here, this at the base is a piece of grocery shopping bag, and I stamped some words down with black ink just to give it a bit of something. There's a little green scrap under here. Edges have been inked, a couple of little flower cutouts, and a cute little bird. And that's label number 1. The next one, similar principle, except this is a piece of scrapbook paper. This next level here is actually from a magazine. Inked the edges. I've got a little die cut here, a little birdie sticker, and then a cute little label. Number 2 done. This one looks a little bit more like a label. It actually has a label on it. This is also packaging, I think it was from Kaiser Craft, and it has a botanical print on it. And I've used the bag just about up, but I had a few bits left. This is why I don't like throwing things out. Then the next layer here, that's a cutout from a magazine. Then I've got a cute little yellow flower die cut, a little butterfly, and an actual label on this one. This again was stamped on a magazine page. Next one, this piece here is, the backing piece was a leftover piece of printable. I had a few little labels in my stash, so I've used them up in some of these. Little die cut topiary tree, and then just for a little bit of added deco, these are 3 little strips that I've glued down, cut out from, I think, a Daphne's Diary magazine. This was actually like, not the advertising page, but the introduction to the article had these little strips up the top, and I just cut them out and used them. Things hanging over the edge works well with me. I do love that. The next one, this is a piece of, this was a cutout sheet. Didn't even realise that was on the back until I was sort of gluing and all good. It doesn't matter. This is another one of those little labels that I had left over in my stash. A cute little sentiment saying happy day, and then a sparkly pink heart to finish that one off. And as you can see, I've done some different edges. This one, I've rounded the corners. Some of them I've cut off so that they are a more traditional label shape to keep with the theme. But you don't have to do any of that. It's just completely up to you. You might have a piece, a cute little scrap, and it's got a little bit of a torn corner or damaged corner. Then that would be perfect to use to cut out a label, and then you get rid of that yucky little corner and you don't have to waste that piece. Now this one here, The backing of this is actually a paint chip that has been embossed, and the next layer is actually a piece of acetate that had printing on it. I got gifted that in a Happy Mail swap. And then I made this heart with a heart punch that I have. And the paper that I've done, it's all different shades of pink. It even has a little bit of sparkle, but I doubt the camera's going to pick that up. And then a sentiment, grateful. So just keeping with the pink and white theme for that one. Another few scraps done. This one here, this is a piece of cardstock. Rounded the edges on this one. Also rounded the edges on this piece, which is another leftover kit page that I had just, this little bit left. And then I fussy cut out a flower and a couple of leaves. I think that might have been from a Daphne's Diary magazine. Easy. The next one, the base again is a piece of leftover kit. The next piece here is another magazine page, but I liked that it was sort of in that pinky mauvey tone. We've added a tiny bit of lace. Then I've got this beautiful pink pearlized paper. Almost looks a little bit like quilting. So I just stamped out a little circle and popped that down there, and then added a cute little button. So we've got a little bit of a gentle sewing theme happening with that one. The next one, good old book pages to the rescue. I've always got plenty of those scraps. Even made a torn edge on this one just for something different. We've got another magazine page down there, a simple die-cut flower, and then a traditional little old-fashioned label to finish that one off. This one here, this is actually the inside of an envelope. So I just dug around for a few things that were blue. This piece here, cut out from a magazine, and I used my distress ink in blue to do the edges for something different. Little fishy, he was cut out of a magazine. And then I had this little flag and, of course, then this little label to finish that one off. This was just a case of finding things blue that I had thrown into my little tub over there and putting them all together. Another one here, this was actually a stamp. I've got a large label stamp. It's on a piece of cardstock. I've got a little bit of book page in underneath there. One more of the little labels that I had in my stash. A cute little flower and then a fussy cut butterfly to finish that one off. This one here, this is a piece of packaging. I think this may have been coffee sachets. Doesn't matter, because like when you stick these down on, if you can use these to decorate pockets, to decorate journaling cards, just to put as a little piece of something. You might have a big blank page, you want to leave it blank, but you want a little something on it. This is when you can use all these things up. You can also use them to make like little gift cards if you want. This one here, so yes, we started off with some coffee packaging. I had this white paper with the grid pattern on it in my stash, a little piece left. So I cut that out, rounded all these corners. I stamped on a fountain pen. I stamped on a mini label down here. And then I had this little tiny letter B in my stash, goodness knows where from. But be amazed how we can use up these little bits when we have a fun project like this. Now, this one, of course, is pushing labels to the absolute extreme. This is actually a ticket that I had, but it has a label space in there, so we're going with it. And then I've got this cute little, what's them things called at fairs? You know, I can't think of the word, one of them. A little photo booth piece of ephemera, a little kite, and then best day. So, if you went to a fair or something like that, you could use this to decorate a journal page even. So, again, using up scraps. And the lucky last one that I have got done here, this is pushing labels to the extreme, but I've got this stamp set that I purchased ages ago, and I've actually never used it, and it's some perfume bottle shapes. So I stamped that out onto a piece of leftover printable from something that I did. And then I've just fussy cut out little flowers from magazines and popped them down because perfumes are based on floral scents, a lot of them. And then just to actually sort of keep with the true label theme, I've stuck this tiny little label on here. But the thing is, there are no rules. You can do what you like. That's the whole idea of paper crafting. They don't have to be that specific. So I thought what we would do is we will make a couple, and I'll show you what we have got first. This was cut out from a Daphne's Diary magazine, and so was this, and so was this. And even the little label that I stamped out, it's got a little bit of a linen background look there, all from Daphne's Diary. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab the glue stick and we're going to very quickly put this one together. So I've just cut the corners off. I don't measure these. I've just done them roughly, like we don't have to do measuring. But if you want to be really fussy, get a ruler out. But nah, I didn't bother. And I love this yellow flower. So we're going to put Mr. Birdie sort of right up over in the corner so I don't cover up any more of the flower that I have to. And then I've got part of a label here. And the reason why I've cut part of it off is because I don't want it to cover up any of that. So we're going to put the little label on because we're doing the right thing and we're pretending it's all officially labels, which it's not, but that's okay. And we're just going to pop that down there. And then this tiny little butterfly. You see, half the time you wouldn't even bother fussy cutting out a little butterfly like this. But then when you decide you want to do a mini project, that's when you think, oh, look, I can make use of a little mini butterfly. And we're going to pop that right up in the corner. So I love that we've got a bit of the yellow happening. There's a bit of orange and pink down here, and then just this to give it a little bit of calmness. So there we go. That's how quickly you can make one. And then another one, a little bit more vintage style. Excuse me. This is a piece of packaging from a grocery bag. It's even got a bit of a bend in it, but who cares? This is vintage. It's a bit old. We can go with that. So the first thing I've got, I have stamped a label, and I'll just show you these. I'm not sure where I got this set from. I think it might have been AliExpress, maybe a very long time ago, but this is probably one of the best investments I have ever made. It is, as you can see, these are well used, and I'm a bit naughty. I don't go cleaning off my stamps all the time. But if you want to make labels, this is a cheap and easy way to do it. Once you've got the stamp set, you can make labels out of anything. And I love using magazine pages. So this is from a magazine, this background here. It's got some words on it. So we're going with a little book theme for this one. So I've picked up a variety of pieces that have words involved, which you will see shortly. So there's my first piece down. So there's my little label. Then the next thing, I've got it's even a bit crinkled, but I think I like that idea for something a bit vintagey looking. There's no reason why this can't be a bit crinkly. And I've already cut the corners on this so that it will sit into that corner there. So again, a few more words, and then we have another scrap. Again, more words torn on the two ends just to give it a little bit of point of difference, just for fun, and just a little bit of layering going on here. And this idea started with finding this very cute little image of books. I think, again, this may have been from Daphne's Diary. I don't care what anyone says. They are the best investment if you're into paper crafting. They're worth every cent. There we go. So that's it. And then the last little bit, I'm going to struggle to pick this up though. I get my fingernails to work. I found this tiny word with books written on it. So now I've just got to work out where we're going to put this. Yeah, I think maybe up there actually. So tiny little whack of glue. Oh, this is the hardest little thing. It is so tiny. Well, let me try and pick it up with my tweezers. But I couldn't resist. Let's see, yes, I think we might put it up right up there. There we go. And just like that, we have a lovely little vintagey style one using scraps. Done. So there we go. Now, it doesn't get much easier than that. This is a fun job. When you want to be creative and you can't decide what to do, just gather together some scraps and make some labels. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments box below, or let me know which one you like the best. And please give this video a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. And thank you for watching. Until next time, bye for now.